Hey everyone, I thought I would do a video a little bit differently and do one on, uh, well, it's an investment of sorts, and I'm using that somewhat loosely because it doesn't even identify as a investment really. This is Yieldnodes. This is something that I've been investing in for probably close to a year, and this is probably my biggest investment and what I have probably most in, what I've probably made the most money on. And that's including um, everything from doing all kinds of different stuff like peer-to-peer lending on Prosper, um, dividend stocks on Robinhood. I've tried a few other, I guess, crypto investments as well, which some of them really haven't panned out. Like I've only invested a little bit, but I think of all the things that I've looked into and seen and stuff, this seems to be most stable. It seems to be good returns, but not like ridiculously high returns um, like some of the other ones that I've invested, like Time Wonderland and even Vapor Nodes, which still a bit iffy on. I'm still holding out that maybe it'll still make money and stuff. This is the website without me logged in, by the way, because this is their website. It's a European-based company, so it's open to, I think, anywhere around the world. This is some of the, you can go and look up Yieldnodes and check out their YouTube channel. I think they also have a blog, and this is just the front page. I'm just going to go through. And this is, I believe you can fund with Bitcoin and I think a few other cryptocurrencies, but it isn't dependent on any kind of crypto price. It does kind of help some as you kind of withdraw and deposit, and I typically use Bitcoin. I think you can use a few other currencies as well too, but this is basically funding master nodes. So when people do a transaction on the blockchain for Bitcoin, but I think they do a few others, they don't just focus on one, then this makes money and then they distribute it out to everyone else. And as you can see, they have about 2,000, 4,000 master nodes. Masternode and alternating with, I believe that's proof of staking. Revenue was 7.4, and that was for that month. So, and the average monthly yield is about 10%, which I'd say is pretty true, and which is about 120% annual yield, but 213.84 compounded. And I believe you can pay up. They're showing a bunch of different methods. I use Bitcoin. I think you can also use maybe perhaps Euro. I believe US. I believe a few other cryptocurrencies as well. I'm trying to remember the other ones. But yeah, they're pretty transparent. They do audits and stuff, like I believe internal audits. It's continued to kind of grow. There is a minimum of sorts. There's a minimum and then there's a maximum. So what's different is that while you can deposit in Bitcoin, it's converted to Euro. So it's a bit confusing because, especially being based from the United States, I don't really do much with Euro. But when you basically, when it pays out monthly, and then whatever amount you decide to not compound, you can withdraw every month. And it kind of displays in Euro, but then I usually typically withdraw and deposit via Bitcoin. So that's what I do. So far, this is the projected profit. It's 5 to 15%. On average, I would say it's more, probably 7 to 8%. It seems about every month. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. And this is kind of just a chart. It is, I think it's more beneficial the more you have to work with and the more you can deposit. But because around, I'd say about 5,000 or so, which is, I'm getting kind of close there. I have about, probably will be about 4,000 or 5,000 soon. The more you basically get in returns, and then when compounded, it actually adds more and more and more. And so I'm slowly scrolling, and it's like I said, it's not mining, it's master noding, and this is Yieldnodes, and it does say it's there are expenses, and while it isn't entirely risk-free, I would say, and all the people that work on the company you can contact, and you can see them on LinkedIn, and you can obviously tell they kind of look European. Here are some beta testers and clients of all kind of different people. Let me see. These are kind of the network. Vault Watch, Tritium, Heliobank, Bait Rake. I don't even know what all these are, to be honest. I think these are different crypto and stuff that they masternode for. These are their partners, partner links. I guess there's a community yield. There's a fact, it's as long as I typically use, and they're pretty good with customer support, because I actually had an issue where I got a new phone and I had to change the authentication thing and switch it over to a new phone, and I forgot to do that with Google Authenticate. So yeah, and then they also have I think it looks like maybe their customer service is maybe they use over in China, I think, or Hong Kong, I should say. This is my dashboard. This is this is my dashboard. This is kind of, you can go through and check out everything. Let's see. Nope, I don't want to do that. As you can see, there's all kinds of different, at least here, there's masternode. This is how much I have, and like you can see, it's displayed in euro. This is what I have withdrawable. You have to have a little bit over 100, or you have to have 100 or more, and also shows the amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum for each of these, the total return on investment. This is what I've made so far, and I initially did deposit just an initial 500. It shows it was 8.3 right here. In April, the weekly so far it's 1.3, and then it'll probably be anywhere from 1 to 2 per week or so. The deposit withdrawal, you can submit a request. This is the profit. I have been depositing just with my business and stuff because it's been doing well. I've been investing more. I think cash flow should be kind of first, and then you should start investing more. And so last month I actually made 220, and it does fluctuate a lot, because when I withdrew, Bitcoin went down in price, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And I'm probably going to deposit probably a fair amount this month. I think once you get about 5,000, maybe 10,000, I think is really when you kind of get, let me see, reports, total deposits. Let me see, I guess this is for, as you can see, it typically goes up, but sometimes it goes down a little bit, but it's typically over time gone up and down. This is, let me see, when I first started out, it was just only 30, and then it kind of goes a little up and down there, but now I'm making about 200, 220. I'll probably make even more this month, especially. It does show these little, it's due to late deposit, which basically means that if you deposit after the first of the month, it just typically shows that. Let me see, deposit. I'm not going to show any of that because that's, support people of Ukraine. And as you can see, after a while, there is a freeze period of like if you, so after about 6 months or so, you can transfer to withdrawable balance, but I'm deciding to keep it in there. And I am compounding about 80% so far, just so I can take a little bit out, but so far I think I've just reinvested it in this or something else, so I haven't really spent or used it much. As you can see, I've taken, I think, 2 or 3 deposit withdrawals. It'll probably be happening more often. Yeah. And then, there's affiliate. I am going to, you can also, I think you get like 5% or something like that. Let me see. I don't think you, performance, initial deposit. You can kind of see like what Yieldnodes. I don't know if 500. Okay. I think this is kind of, you can just kind of, this is an estimate based on past performance, and that is, it shows like Yieldnodes if it's compounded, if it's not. I think it's wise to compound a lot of it or all of it if you can, especially early on. There's also audits and stuff like that. The other thing is, so you can take withdrawals, but the only thing is that it takes up to a month for it to basically withdraw and then to see it on your wallet address or whatever. And I think you can see on the withdrawal that there's an emergency withdrawal, but that will basically incur more fees. So it even says that, and it mentions this basically if you basically want to do it between the 1st and the 15th of every month, so that way by about the 8th or so of next month you'll get it. So there is about a month downtime between when you will basically initialize the draw and then you'll actually see it. So that is a bit of a pain, but being that I'm still not making, I guess, like a huge amount every month, and I'm basically reinvesting it, it doesn't really affect me as much. But that is one downside of withdrawals. But yeah, I have an affiliate link. I'll include an affiliate link in the video if you want to sign up. And sorry, I'm a little out of it because I'm still getting over a bit of a sickness. If you want to sign up, I'd really appreciate that, and spread the word. Feel free to comment if you have any questions about this. If you other stuff, I'm going to try and put out some kind of different content and videos, especially stuff on finance and maybe some other stuff as well too. I haven't put out a podcast episode in a while too, but yeah, I think it's a really good idea. It's a really good investment. I don't believe in, I guess I don't believe in, but how should I put it? I don't think really buying Bitcoin or some crypto and just holding on to it. And there are other things I've tried, like staking and yield farming and other stuff, but none of them has really panned out as much as like this, and has as high of a return really. And it's pretty simple and easy to do. I can sign in on my phone. I can sign in on the website. It's really not that complicated compared to some other stuff. You basically just deposit. I'll check it maybe a few times a month or something. I don't see really many downsides to it if you're I mean, the initial deposit is a fair amount of money, but if you have, say, a few thousand or so, I'd say you'd really start to see it really pay off as you start to get probably closer to 5,000, 10,000. That's when you're making anywhere from 250, 500 to 1,000 a month, depending on. And I'd say the average is typically about 7 or 8 that I've seen. There are some where it's been the lowest it typically goes is like 7 to 8% return. The highest I've seen is maybe 12 or 15 some months. It really varies. It basically depends on the amount of transactions and stuff people are doing. And people will always typically need to do transactions. The price of Bitcoin and other ones, it affects it some, basically when you're depositing and withdrawing, but it's not a huge issue. Check it out. I'll include a link below. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up, and I'll see you guys later.